The chicken parmesan was halfway to my mouth when my wife said it. We were at her parents' house for Sunday dinner. Nothing unusual. We did this twice a month, had been doing it for the 5 years we'd been married. Her mom always cooked something elaborate. Her dad always told the same stories about his golf buddies. Her younger sister Ashley usually showed up late. This time, Ashley brought her new boyfriend, some guy named Tyler who worked in finance and wouldn't shut up about crypto investments. That's when it happened. Tyler was going on about some investment opportunity. I wasn't really listening. I was thinking about the project deadline I had at work on Monday. I'm a software developer and I'd been working 60-hour weeks for the past month. So what do you do? Tyler asked me directly. Software engineering, I said. Back-end development mostly. Oh, cool. What kind of salary does that pull? I felt my wife Jennifer stiffen next to me. Her family was, well, they had money, real money. Her dad owned 3 car dealerships. They lived in a house that could fit my entire apartment building inside it. It's decent, I said, keeping it vague. Michael makes around 90,000, Jennifer said. Her tone was flat, almost disappointed. That's respectable, Tyler said in a way that made it clear he didn't think it was respectable at all. Tyler just got promoted to senior analyst, Ashley said proudly. He's making 170 now. Jennifer's mom smiled. How wonderful. Ashley, you did well for yourself. I felt Jennifer shift in her seat again. That's when her dad decided to chime in. Michael, you've been at that company, what, 3 years now? Any promotions coming? Working on it, I said. These things take time. Tyler got promoted in 18 months, Ashley said. I took a bite of my chicken, chewed slowly. This dinner was going exactly how these dinners always went, the subtle comparisons, the gentle reminders that I wasn't quite good enough for their daughter. Well, Jennifer's mom said, not everyone is cut out for high-level corporate success. I'd heard worse from her. Then Jennifer spoke. You know, Mom, if someone like Tyler had asked me out before Michael, I probably would have said yes. The table went quiet. I looked at her. She wasn't looking at me. She was looking at Tyler, smiling. I mean, someone ambitious, someone with goals, someone who actually makes things happen instead of just coasting. Her mom laughed nervously. Jennifer, no, I'm serious. If Tyler asked me out now, I'd probably say yes. Michael knows that. I set my fork down carefully. The silence was thick. You could hear the ice maker in the kitchen, the wall clock ticking. Jennifer was still smiling. Not embarrassed, not apologetic, just smiling, like she'd been waiting to say it. I wiped my mouth with my napkin, folded it, placed it next to my plate. Thank you for dinner, Mrs. Patterson, I said. My voice was calm, steady. The chicken was excellent. I stood up, pushed my chair in. Where are you going? Jennifer asked. She looked confused now, like I'd missed my cue in whatever script she'd written. Home. Michael, don't be dramatic. I grabbed my jacket from the coat closet, put it on. My car keys were in the pocket. Jennifer followed me to the door. You're seriously leaving? Over that? I looked at her. Really looked at her. And I realized something I'd been ignoring for months. This wasn't the first time she'd said something like this. It was just the first time she'd said it in front of other people. Yeah, I said. I'm leaving. I walked out, got in my car, drove home. 23-minute drive. I didn't speed, didn't blast angry music, didn't punch the steering wheel. I just drove. My brain was working clearly for the first time in months, maybe years. All those late nights she'd been working, the new wardrobe she'd bought, the way she'd started mentioning this guy from her marketing firm, Brad, constantly. Brad thinks we should pivot the campaign. Brad says I should ask for a raise. Brad invited me to his lake house this weekend for a work retreat. I'd trusted her, believed every word. I pulled into the parking lot of our apartment complex, looked up at our third-floor unit. Lights were off, empty. I went inside and I started packing her things, not angrily, not throwing stuff around, just systematically, methodically packing everything that was hers. Clothes from the closet, folded each piece carefully. Her shoes lined up neatly in a box, all her bathroom stuff, makeup, hair products, that expensive face cream she'd bought last month. I worked for 3 hours straight. My phone started buzzing around 9 p.m. Jennifer, where did you go? This is ridiculous. We need to talk about this like adults. I ignored all of them. By midnight, I had 12 boxes stacked by the door. Everything that was clearly, obviously hers. Then I did something I'd been thinking about since I got home. I opened my laptop, went to our apartment lease, only my name was on it. Jennifer had moved in 6 months after I signed the lease, and we just never updated it. I called the landlord, left a voicemail. Hey, Tom, it's Michael from 3B. I need to add a clause to my lease about unauthorized occupants. Can you call me back? Then I called a locksmith, 24-hour service. I need my locks changed tonight. I'll pay double. The guy showed up at 1 a.m., changed all 3 locks, front door, deadbolt, and the sliding door to the balcony. Cost me $400, worth every penny. He handed me the new keys. Domestic thing? Yeah. Been there, man. Good luck. He left. I moved all 12 boxes onto the exterior hallway, right outside the door where anyone walking by could see them. Then I went inside, locked the new locks, and waited. Jennifer got home at 1:47 a.m. I heard her heels clicking on the concrete outside. Heard her key scraping in the lock. Once, twice, 3 times. What the hell? More aggressive scraping, then pounding. Michael, open the door. I sat on the couch, didn't move. I know you're in there. Open this door right now. Silence from me. You can't just lock me out. This is my home, too. Actually, it wasn't. Only my name on the lease. My security deposit, my first month's rent. The pounding continued for 10 minutes. Then I heard her on the phone. Mom, he changed the locks. I don't know. He just left dinner and... Mom, I need to stay at your place tonight. Car door. Engine. She left. I sat in the quiet apartment. For the first time in 5 years, I felt like I could breathe. I woke up at 6 a.m., made coffee, strong and black. My phone had 38 notifications. Jennifer had texted 16 times, called 11 times. Her mom had called, her dad, even Ashley. I blocked all of them. Then I opened my email, started going through old messages, looking for patterns, found them immediately. 6 months ago, working late with Brad on the Henderson account. 4 months ago, Brad and I are going to that marketing conference in Chicago. 2 months ago, girls' night with Melissa and some people from work. Every single message had been a lie, or at least not the whole truth. I pulled up our shared credit card statement, charges I didn't recognize, restaurants I'd never been to with her, a hotel in Chicago during that conference. She'd been sloppy, or maybe she thought I'd never check. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. You can't just throw me out of my own home. Jennifer's voice, she'd borrowed someone's phone. It's not your home. Your name isn't on the lease. We're married. I have rights. Call a lawyer then. I'm calling the police. Go ahead. I'm the sole leaseholder. You're an unauthorized occupant. They'll tell you the same thing I am. I hung up. Blocked that number too. At 7 a.m., I called my boss. Told him I was taking a personal day. He didn't ask questions. Then I called a divorce attorney. Found one with good reviews online. Got an appointment for 10 a.m. The attorney's name was Richard Moss, early 60s, sharp suit, tired eyes that said he'd seen this story 1,000 times. 5 years married, he said, reviewing the notes I'd sent ahead of time. No kids, apartments solely in your name, she works full-time, you have evidence of infidelity. Text messages, credit card charges, she basically admitted it at her parents' dinner table last night. In front of witnesses, her entire family. He smiled. Not friendly. More like a shark who just smelled blood. This is going to be very clean. Nevada's a no-fault state, but evidence of adultery can affect asset division. How much shared property? Not much. We have separate bank accounts. I pay the rent and utilities. She pays for her own car and personal expenses. Any shared assets at all? Joint checking account with about $2,000 in it. That'll get split 50-50 unless she wants to fight for it, which she won't because it'll cost her more in legal fees. What's the timeline? I can file the petition this week. She gets served. We do financial disclosures. If she doesn't contest anything, we can have this finalized in 6 weeks. And if she contests, then it takes longer and costs more. But based on what you're telling me, she doesn't have much ground to stand on. I paid the retainer. $5,000. He said he'd have papers drawn up by Wednesday. I went home, as a firing hat, checked my phone, 43 more notifications. I turned off my phone completely, sat in my apartment, just mine now, and I felt good, really, genuinely good. Monday morning, I went back to work. My coworker Justin noticed immediately. You look different. Different how? I don't know, lighter? I smiled. Kick my wife out this weekend. His eyes went wide. Seriously? Found out she's been cheating, changed the locks, filed for divorce? Holy shit, man, you okay? Yeah, actually, I am. He patted me on the shoulder. Good for you. She was always kind of, you know, what? Condescending, like you weren't good enough for her. She told me that last night in front of her family. Damn, well, fuck her then. Exactly. Work was good, busy. I had projects to focus on, problems to solve that had clear solutions and logic. Not like my marriage, which had been a mess of manipulation and unspoken expectations. At lunch, my phone buzzed. I turned it back on, had text from Tom, my landlord. Got your voicemail. Stopped by this morning, found boxes in the hallway, removed them per building policy. They're in storage if you want them. I texted back, not my boxes. Do whatever you want with them. Him. Got it. Everything okay? Getting better. That evening, Jennifer showed up at my work. Security called me down to the lobby. She was standing there in her work clothes, designer blazer, perfect makeup, looking like she'd just come from a meeting. We need to talk, she said. We don't. Michael, please. This is insane. What's insane? You changing the locks, throwing out my things, blocking my number. I didn't throw out your things. I packed them carefully and put them in the hallway. Not my fault someone took them. The landlord took them. Then get them from him. He threw them away, said they were abandoned property. I shrugged. Not my problem. She looked like she wanted to hit me. You're being a child. I'm being decisive. There's a difference. Over one comment at dinner, over 6 months of cheating with Brad. Her face went pale. I never. Chicago conference, late nights, girls' nights that weren't actually with girls, credit card charges at restaurants and hotels I've never been to. Should I keep going? You went through my stuff, our shared credit card that I pay for. She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. It's not what you think. Then what is it? We're just friends. We work together. Friends don't check into hotels together. That was a work conference. Then why didn't you mention Brad was going when you told me about it? Silence. That's what I thought, I said. Michael, please. We can work through this. Go to counseling. Start over. I don't want to start over with you. Because of one mistake? 6 months isn't one mistake. It's a pattern. She grabbed my arm. Don't throw away 5 years over this. I pulled my arm free. You threw it away when you decided Brad was more interesting than me. He's not. Doesn't matter anymore. You'll get served divorce papers this week. Sign them or don't. Either way, we're done. I turned and walked back into the building. Security escorted her out. The divorce papers were served Wednesday afternoon. She tried to call me 37 times that day. I didn't answer once. Thursday, I got a call from her dad. Michael, what the hell are you doing? Getting divorced. Over a stupid comment at dinner. Over 6 months of her cheating with a coworker named Brad. Silence. Did you know? I asked. Know what? That she was cheating. She wasn't cheating. They worked together. Did you know she went to Chicago with him? That they stayed at the same hotel? More silence. That's what I thought, I said. Michael, you're making a huge mistake. Jennifer loves you. No, she doesn't. She settled for me. She told me that herself. Said if someone like Tyler had asked her out, she would have said yes. She was just frustrated. You haven't exactly been husband of the year. Because I work 60 hours a week to pay our bills while she spends money on designer clothes and fancy dinners with Brad? He didn't have an answer for that. The papers are filed, I said. She can sign them or fight them. Either way, I'm done. I hung up. 2 weeks later, I got a call from Richard. She's not contesting anything, wants to finalize ASAP. Why the rush? Probably because she realized she doesn't have a case, or because Brad isn't as interested as she thought he'd be. What's the settlement? Clean split. She keeps her car and personal items. You keep the apartment and everything in it. Joint checking gets split 50-50. No alimony, no spousal support. When can we finalize? Judge can sign off next week. Do it. The divorce was final on a Tuesday morning. I was at work when Richard called to tell me, congratulations, you're officially single. That fast? She didn't fight anything. Easiest divorce I've done in years. I hung up, sat at my desk, and smiled. 3 months later, I ran into Jennifer at a coffee shop. She looked different, thinner, tired. Her hair wasn't as perfectly styled. Hi, she said. How are you? Good. You? I'm managing. Awkward silence. I heard Brad got transferred, I said. Her face fell. Yeah, he moved to Portland. We're not. We're not together anymore. Sorry to hear that. Are you, though? Not really, no. She laughed bitterly. Fair. What happened? He wasn't interested in anything serious, just wanted to have fun. Once you and I split up and I was actually available, she trailed off. He lost interest. Yeah. So you gave up our marriage for a guy who didn't even want you. I know. I fucked up. Yeah, you did. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. I'm sorry for all of it, for what I said at dinner, for Brad, for everything. Okay. Is that all? Just okay? What do you want me to say? I don't know. That you forgive me, that we can try again? I don't forgive you, and we can't try again. Why not? Because I'm happy now. Happier than I ever was with you. That hurt her. I could see it in her face. I hope you find someone who appreciates you, she said quietly. I already did. Her eyes widened. You're seeing someone? Yeah, her name's Rachel. We met through a friend. She's a teacher. She's kind. She doesn't care that I make $90,000 instead of 170. She doesn't compare me to other people. She just likes me for me. Jennifer nodded slowly. Good, you deserve that. So do you, eventually, when you figure out what you actually want. I wanted you. No, you didn't. You wanted the idea of me, the safe choice, but you didn't actually want me. She started crying. I finished my coffee, stood up. Take care of yourself, Jennifer. I walked out, got in my car, and drove to Rachel's place. She opened the door with a smile. Hey, you're early. Finished up quick? Want to grab dinner? Always. Let me get my shoes. She disappeared inside. I waited on her porch. Thought about Jennifer crying in that coffee shop, thought about the life I'd left behind, and I felt nothing. No anger, no regret, no what ifs, just peace. Rachel came back out. Ready? Yeah, let's go. We got in the car. She put her hand on mine. You okay? Yeah, actually, I am. She smiled. Good. We drove to a restaurant we both liked. Not fancy, just good food and good company. And for the first time in 5 years, I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be.